Hi everyone. So we have a very special guest today, and her name is Dr. Namita Shukla. Welcome to our show. And she also happens to be my mommy. And today we are going to have this chat with her. She is a obstetrician and a gynecologist, over 3 decades of experience now, and that is why I thought that it would be great if we can have a chat with her and learn about all the common myths and what are the steps that we can actually take care of before we go into pregnancy, post delivery, and things related to that. Because I think if you're mentally prepared before you actually go into pregnancy is also very important. So Mami, let's begin the show.
Sure.
So the first question for you is, medically speaking, how does a back-to-back pregnancies, having babies 1 year apart, affect a mother's nutrition depletion and placenta health during the second pregnancy?
So this question is specially directed to me because I have two babies,
Yeah,
twins, like back to back.
yeah,
So actually, if you have two pregnancies within 2 years, that definitely affects your health and nutrition. All the essential micronutrients like iron, calcium, vitamin D, magnesium, omega-3 fatty acids, so they are depleted actually. So WHO recommends actually not to have pregnancies back to back. At least minimum 2 years gap is advisable, because then it calls on your health and fetal outcomes also. Like you may have growth restricted babies, you may suffer from anemia, and the common problems related to pregnancy may be exaggerated, no? Like backache, more of nausea, vomiting, maybe.
okay.
So here comes the role of proper antenatal care and supplements. So you should definitely, in case you conceive and wish to continue the pregnancy, you should have a proper antenatal care for a favorable outcome. And of course, like you were saying, some placental issues also can arise, which can lead to growth restriction first of all.
Yeah.
And suppose you had a cesarean and then repeatedly you conceive within 2 years, so that scar has not healed properly. So the placenta may go and adhere on that scar, and that is called as placenta previa, and that is actually a dangerous situation, which can lead to premature delivery, maybe a lot of hemorrhage and operative delivery. So that could be a issue.
Okay.
So WHO recommends that minimum 2 years gap should be there.
Great. Next question. What are the most common early pregnancy symptoms that feel alarming but are actually completely safe and normal?
Yeah, see, all the time the patient may feel nausea, 1 or 2 vomitings also she may consider as abnormal, which is normal. Then mild abdominal pain here and there, maybe due to gases or maybe due to the changes occurring in the uterus, constipation, tenderness in the breast, so frequency of passing urine. So these can be the common symptoms which the patient may feel like they are abnormal, but definitely there are certain red flags. You have to immediately consult a doctor, like you have missed a period and there is severe abdominal pain, fainting attack. In that case, it could be an ectopic pregnancy, a pregnancy outside the uterus. So that is dangerous because the tubes are very thin, and any pregnancy growing there will lead to burst. The tubes may burst and there can be a lot of bleeding inside. So that is a red flag which you should not ignore. And any high fever or febrile sickness is also not good, may lead to miscarriage. So you should definitely
And
consult a
how
doctor.
early these symptoms begin?
Symptoms of ectopic pregnancy usually present at 5 to 6 months of amenorrhea.
Okay.
And then sometimes like multiple pregnancy, so the symptoms can be over exaggerated.
Okay.
Like normal symptoms of pregnancy can be over exaggerated, leading to dehydration in the mother and problems like may need
Okay.
admission. So that is not desirable, and you should consult a doctor.
Basically, any severe pain is a
Yeah,
red
danger,
flag,
yeah.
but sweating or vomiting
Mild discomfort in the
and
abdomen.
maybe mild fever also, these things are okay.
Yeah, actually the basal body temperature goes higher in pregnancy because of the hormones of pregnancy. So that is not fever. Anything above 100 is definitely fever.
Okay.
99 and 99 point something is normal, because your basal body temperature goes up due to progesterone hormone of pregnancy.
Okay.
So that is not worrisome.
Okay. Okay, Mami. So our next question is, what specific ingredients should women look for in a prenatal vitamin, and can you over supplement?
Yeah, you should look for iron, calcium, omega-3 fatty acids, magnesium, iodine. All these are important micronutrients which
So-
affect the development of the baby. But we have lot of over-the-counter prenatal vitamins which don't have the right concentration of these micronutrients. So definitely you should consult your gynecologist and take the proper prescription, right doses.
Right. And these are supposed to be, we should continue to take it even when post delivery, right?
Yeah,
After delivery.
when you're planning for pregnancy, preconception also, you should start taking at least folic acid, and all vitamin D and calcium levels should be normal. Then you can plan pregnancy, and of course when you are lactating, feeding the baby, you need supplements like calcium, most important,
Yeah.
and magnesium also has a very important role in pregnancy. But you said no, something toxicity, some things should not
Yeah.
be taken in excess.
Yeah.
है ना? So you should definitely not take excess of vitamin A. That is not advisable. Excess of selenium, that is not advisable. So that is why you should always take the prescription from an expert rather
Right.
than buying over the counter, because then you may not get the adequate amount, and sometimes you may have overdose.
Right. Great. Next question. What are the absolute medical boundaries when it comes to working out and lifting weights while pregnancy?
See, if you are used to lifting weights, you can continue, but I would advise under a trainer and not very heavy weights.
Yeah.
But definitely do not start anything new. You can go for swimming, you can go for antenatal yoga classes, that is completely safe. But don't try new things, because that may harm, because lifting weights may cause some injury.
Yeah.
So that we don't want.
But there are people who are regular into lifting
Those who are
weights
used to
before
it,
pregnancy, right?
they can go for moderate. We don't want you to land up in premature pains and premature delivery.
Yeah.
So that all precautions you have to take. But simple walking, swimming, yoga, these are safe things, and that they actually prepare you for a normal delivery
Okay. And
So
if
you
somebody
should-
wants to lift weight, what's
under
the
a
like-
trainer only,
Okay.
because the weight may fall on your tummy.
Okay. There is a
Well-
weight limit, like 5 kgs, 2 kgs.
No, it depends on the individual,
Okay.
because every patient is different and
Okay,
their
okay.
capacity is different, and then definitely not heavy weights, mild to moderate, if
Okay,
you are
okay.
already used to
Lifting weights. Right.
And if it is your second baby,
Huh.
and the first baby is too heavy for you to, please don't lift. Ask somebody else or use a pram. Try to
Okay.
avoid it. And if it is a cesarean delivery and very close, then it is better not to strain your muscles.
Okay. So first baby can also cause, like lifting them again and again can
it
cause
depends on what is
discomfort.
the weight of the first baby. So that precaution, it's a matter of common sense.
Okay.
You should not overdo things.
Yeah. That's actually a very good advice, because people get carried away in emotions, right?
Yeah.
That the baby is crying, they need the mother.
Yeah.
That is right. Yeah. Okay, so the second part of the interview is I'm going to ask you questions related to labor and delivery.
Okay.
And the first question is birth plan related. is there a thing like birth plan, and how do you help a patient balance her birth plan with the unpredictable medical realities of the delivery room?
So this is very important. But every woman who is pregnant should have a birth plan in mind, like what she wants during labor. See, we want that the dignity of the woman be preserved. Who is going to accompany the woman, because labor pains and actual delivery takes a long course.
Yeah.
So who is going to be there to support her during the pain, whether it is the hospital staff or some family member. Husbands are also allowed these days in labor rooms as well as in operation theatres. So because that gives a lot of strength to the laboring woman, because suppose it's the first time she's experiencing labor pains, then it becomes too much for her. And nobody, and actually we prepare the women, we educate them about labor before they actually go into labor. So they can have who is going to cut the cord, what position they want while delivering, whether they want to deliver underwater. So all options are there. So that comes under the birth plan. What pain relief you want, whether you want any epidural or some music or some physiotherapy balls are available, whatever. So everything is available. So the patient should not have unpleasant memories of birthing. That is the whole idea of a birth plan. Which hospital you want to deliver and in which circumstances you want to. Most important is the companion throughout the labor pains.
Right. But then unfortunately in India, a lot of hospitals, they do not allow your partners even during when the labor begins, let alone in the,
See, leave aside the
later
government
stage.
hospitals where the workload is too much, but in the private setups, definitely,
Sorry.
in the private setups, definitely we have a birth plan, and a companion is definitely allowed, some family member or mostly husbands.
So let's say the hospital where the husbands are not allowed, family members are also not there, the lady
Then
is
the
on her
midwives
own.
are there, actually the nursing staff is there, the staff has to be good, who supports you, you are able to bear the pains properly. So they are there to support you. You are
Yeah.
not left on your own actually, there is always somebody with you, whether it's a
Right.
nursing staff.
But sometimes I think it
Yeah, in
gets,
India it's less,
yeah,
but
it's actually
things are
very
improving.
less. I would say that there are many hospitals that allow the husbands or family members to be there, but then I think because you are in so much pain, it matters less what's happening around, and familiar faces always help, right?
Always help.
So
And you need a lot of support, otherwise the woman gives up and says aap to cesarean kar do, which is not appropriate.
yeah.
But if she gets proper support and proper pain relief, then she is able to deliver normally.
Right. So let's say there is nobody with the lady who has come. How do you support? What do you say beforehand so that once she gets into labor, her head is a little more
See,
strong?
during the 9 months, we conduct workshops and educate the woman regarding labor, regarding breastfeeding also. And if she is mentally prepared, she is able to handle the pains properly.
Okay.
And these days, patients are also quite educated and aware about things.
That is true. A lot of information around.
Yeah.
All right, great. So next question is going to be about epidural. What are the actual medical pros and cons of an epidural? That's something everybody wants to know, because it's both good to take it and not good. So what do you suggest?
Again, there are certain myths related to epidural also. No? Not everyone goes for epidural thinking that it's going to prolong the labor. So actually, till full dilatation, it is quite good, but we don't give epidural at a very early stage of labor. At least 3 to 4 centimeters, this passage has to be open. That time we give, and it does not interfere with the contractions of the uterus. The contractions continue in the same way, you are not able to feel it. in the end, definitely we have to reduce the dosage of the medicine so that the woman can actually push,
Yeah.
because she may not otherwise get the sensation to push
Right,
in
right.
the last stage.
Right. Okay, Mami. So the next question is related to postpartum and recovery. What physically happens to a woman's body immediately after delivery that surprises most first time mothers?
One is something called as after pains. She has already suffered lots of pain, and now whenever she is feeding the baby, she feels there is a pain.
Yeah.
So they are
Yeah.
called as after pains. It is because of the hormone that lets down the milk. It also contracts the uterus. So some very sensitive women feel it, and they are surprised. Like, then there is perineal discomfort if there is episiotomy, and sometimes these cuts get extended. There are extensive tears and extensive repair in difficult vaginal deliveries, so that time the pain can be more. And then women are hesitant to pass urine, hesitant to pass motion. They feel that the stitches will open up. So these are the things commonly feed. There are issues with breastfeeding, soreness of the nipple, unable to feed for the
Yeah.
first time.
I think
So-
everybody faces this. It's very difficult
but
because you have no
and
idea.
then most commonly people think it's not adequate, and that is again a myth. It is lack of education that makes them feel, and the pressure of the family members कि बच्चा रो रहा है and इसको तो दूध ही नहीं आ रहा है types. But ऐसा होता नहीं है. There's nothing like failure of lactation. It is just you don't know that you have to frequently put the baby to the breast. That's
Right.
it, because sucking only leads to the flow of milk.
Right.
So that has to, women should be determined not to come under any pressure.
Yeah.
And those who can afford डब्बा वाला milk, तो वो तो फिर easily goes to that, कि चलो mother को rest मिल जाएगा. But that is actually wrong. है ना, you confuse the baby also, and this thing, establishment of breastfeeding is hampered if you start giving something from above.
Top milk from
and
day
all.
one.
Yeah. So
Okay, so mother's milk is obviously better also for the
So
baby.
like we put the baby to breast immediately after delivery, whether it's a normal delivery or a cesarean.
हाँ.
Inside the OT itself, we put the baby to breast. That's the golden hour actually,
Right.
where the baby should suck and take that colostrum, the thick milk, which is rich in antibodies and will protect your baby like a vaccine protects your baby.
Right. I think it helps in weight loss also. I've heard somewhere.
There are a lot of benefits to the mother of breastfeeding. It protects you from so many diseases of the breast, benign diseases of the breast. Of course, helps in weight loss.
Okay. So that's a plus.
Yeah.
Great. Okay, so the next question is the healing timeline. What does a normal physical recovery look like for both a vaginal birth and a C-section during the first 6 weeks?
Yeah, the postpartum period is usually 6 weeks. Normal delivery patients definitely recover faster. The episiotomy heals maybe in 2 weeks or so, until unless there were some extensions and extensive tears.
Yeah.
And cesarean, of course, 6 months you need for proper strength. Thereafter you can start actually your strengthening exercises for your abdomen muscles.
Okay. So after 6 weeks, it is
if
safe.
If it's a cesarean, otherwise after 2 months, after a normal delivery.
You can start. And I think walking also, or is walking also not safe
No,
before 6
walking
weeks?
is safe. And as regards the weight, like the size of your baby, whatever is the baby's weight, like 3 kg or 2 point something, that much weight you can lift easily.
Okay, not beyond that.
You should not lift beyond
Immediately
that.
you should not.
Immediately, especially
Yeah.
if it's a cesarean.
And walking is considered
Yeah, walking
fairly
is very
safe,
good.
right?
Yeah, walking is very
Walking is
good.
good.
And swimming is also good once after 6 weeks or so.
Okay. After 6 weeks, swimming is good.
Swimming is also good.
Yeah.
Walking, yoga, that's good.
Okay. So the next question is regarding stitches and tears. For women who are experiencing stitches and tears, what are the best medical tips for managing pain and preventing infection at home?
So usually you are prescribed some ointment to be applied to episiotomy. If there is too much pain, sitz bath are advised, like you can sit in a tub with lukewarm water with some antiseptic
Yeah,
solution, betadine, Dettol, anything. You can sit for a while. Pain is relieved by water. Water is a good reliever of pain. That's why we said, like if you are birthing underwater also, pain relief is quite good.
Okay.
So, and then you have to maintain general hygiene. That's it. You may be prescribed antibiotics in case of cesarean, although now aseptic conditions in operation theatres are very good, so single shot antibiotic suffices.
Okay.
So routinely not prescribed until unless there is some indication.
Okay. Nice. The battle doesn't stop actually after delivery also, because emotionally also you're not doing well, and then stitches, even if it is vaginal birth. Mine was vaginal, but things were not very good for me, because I developed, I think I discussed it with you earlier, I developed hemorrhoids, and they were so painful that I did not feel the pain of my stitches. And 3 times a day I used to sit in the warm bath with betadine that you used to talk about, that you just mentioned, and I think it still took like 40 days for me to feel less pain and fine. Yeah, it was very
See,
difficult.
constipation leading to hemorrhoids is related mainly to diet. No? Sometimes there are some myths in the family, na, ki ye nahi khilana, wo nahi khilana. Like doctors will always say have a normal diet with lots of fluids, because you are breastfeeding, you will be more thirsty. है ना, लेकिन वो पर्टिकुलर सेट ऑफ फूड ही खिलाते हैं कई फैमिलीज में, सो दैट मे लीड टू कॉन्स्टिपेशन. सेकेंडली द स्टिचेस आर पेनफुल, सो द वुमन में होल्ड हर स्टूल्स, शी मे नॉट, शी फील्स दैट द स्टिचेस विल गिव वे, है ना. तो उस चक्कर में कॉन्स्टिपेशन हो जाता है, फिर हेमरॉइड्स हो जाते हैं. सो अल्टीमेटली इट इज़ द एजुकेशन ऑफ द वुमन दैट इज़ इम्पॉर्टेंट, कि वॉट शी हैज़ टू ईट. शी शुड नॉट कम अंडर प्रेशर. इफ सी, जो बुजुर्ग हैं फैमिली में, दे ऑल्सो नीड टू बी एजुकेटेड, है ना. तो सर्टन थिंग्स आर नॉट राइट रनिंग इन द फैमिली रिगार्डिंग ब्रेस्ट फीडिंग, रिगार्डिंग द डाइट ऑफ द वुमन, है ना. तो वो थोड़ा चेंज करना पड़ेगा. कई लोग कहते हैं कि बहुत पानी पी लिया तो आप फूल जाओगे, आपके स्टिचेस में वो हो जाएगा, पक जाएंगे. दैट इज़ रॉन्ग, क्योंकि इफ़ यू आर फीडिंग द बेबी एंड बेबी इज़ एक्सक्लूसिवली ब्रेस्ट फेड टिल 6 months, ना, तो जो बच्चे को पानी चाहिए वो भी तो आपसे ही मिल रहा है थ्रू योर ब्रेस्ट मिल्क. सो यू नीड टू drink lot of water,
right,
fluids in any form. तो फ्लो भी अच्छा रहेगा मिल्क का, एंड बेबी को भी थर्स्ट अच्छे से होगा.
राइट. बट जो मेरे को जब हेमरॉइड्स हुए थे, वो तो राइट आफ्टर डिलीवरी आई डेवलप दैट, एंड आई आस्क्ड डॉक्टर्स कि ऐसा क्यों हुआ है, तो दे सेड व्हेन इट हैपेंस, व्हेन यू पुश टू हार्ड, इट इज बाउंड टू हैपन. वो हो जाता है, इट्स नॉर्मल.
हाँ, नहीं, वो मतलब hemorrhoids in pregnancy are due to hormonal changes that are occurring, leading to stagnation of blood in the veins. वेन्स से ब्लड वापस नहीं जा रहा है, वो स्टैगनेट हो रहा है वहाँ पे, उससे वो फूल जाती हैं जो वेन्स हैं वहाँ की ना. दैट इज़ हेमरॉइड्स. तो वो प्रेगनेंसी रिलेटेड हार्मोन से हो सकता है, बट आफ्टर डिलीवरी इट इज़ यूजुअली या तो वो पहले से थे प्रेगनेंसी में, है ना, और दूसरा यही सब जो पुश किया उससे कई बार रप्चर होकर कभी हीमेटोमा भी बन जाता है, ब्लड कलेक्ट होता है, हो जाता है. सो दैट कुड बी द रीजन,
व्हेन दे प्रोट्रूड आउट. वेरी पेनफुल.
दैट कैन हैपन.
So I think the warm water bath with
that is soothing.
Betadine, that helps.
Is soothing. That helps.
Okay. So our last question is related to the hormonal crash that happens once you deliver. So what physically happens to a woman's estrogen and progesterone levels in the first 48 hours after they deliver, and how this triggers the baby blues?
Yeah, the progesterone hormone, which was of the pregnancy, has dropped. The placenta has come out. The estrogen levels are also low, so that may lead to this hormonal crash may cause blues, baby blues, what we call. And suddenly your life has also changed, your responsibility as a mother, and you are not used to taking care of such a tiny baby. and you are deprived of your soundless sleep.
Yeah.
So that definitely leads to disturbances. You feel very low. Many women are really depressed. Here comes the role of the family. The family needs to be very supportive, है ना, rather than saying कि दूध ही नहीं आ रहा है या
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
है? So they should support her.
Yeah.
And suppose she has had an unpleasant delivery, so that could add up to the depression.
Right, right.
And then so proper nutrition and family support is vital. You should
Right.
catch up with your sleep when the baby sleeps, and definitely family helps in raising the baby.
I think this is also a very, I mean, I don't know why I feel this, that every second mother that at least I have spoken to, they have gone through some sort of emotional turmoils post delivery, and I think it is also very common that when the baby comes out, the entire attention of the family
Shifts to
shifts
the
to the baby.
yeah, yeah.
And knowingly, unknowingly, the mother is completely
true.
neglected.
That's
And
true.
to be very honest, when I spoke to mothers, new mothers, everybody felt that it feels very lonely, that you're sitting in the same room, because you can't really move out a lot and go out of the house, etc. So couple of weeks initially are very hard, because you see the same thing, you are doing the same thing, you're running on zero sleep. So I think this adds a lot to the hormonal distress.
Yeah, that's true.
And of course the mother getting neglected, because the baby, obviously
That's
everybody
true.
wants to talk
That's true.
and be there for the baby. So the
Usually,
village is for the baby.
all this means you recover from all this usually in 6 weeks or so. But if it persists, then definitely one needs to take a consultation from a psychologist
Yeah.
rather than a psychiatrist.
I took counseling myself, because I was not in a good shape, and I used to cry a lot, and I did not really realize why I'm crying. I used to just feel overwhelmed very frequently, and that used to end up in tears. And because my
And
case,
after becoming a mother, many times, like as the baby grows, you have that guilt feeling, no? Many times.
Yeah,
that
yeah,
you
yeah.
have not given your 100%
Yes,
to the baby,
yes,
especially
yes,
working
yes.
women.
yes, yes, yes.
So that feeling may persist
ha.
later also.
Absolutely. So I think mother guilt never leaves you, no matter what age. It's just right from the very beginning.
That's
it
why
just
mothers
keeps
are
on going.
special.
Yeah,
Nobody
that
can
is true.
replace a mother.
Yeah, that is true. So talking about counseling, I mean, ladies these days, they do not really think it's a taboo anymore, but I think it is. Family sometimes thinks it's a taboo, and somebody would say something
Yeah,
that
still people think and don't approach a psychologist, which they should.
yes, absolutely.
But
And I
most
think
of the
it
problems
helps.
can be solved at home
Yeah,
by
yeah.
support of the husband and other family members.
Yes. I mean, I totally vouch by this, because when I took counseling sessions, I realized that they mostly hear you out,
Yeah,
whatever issues
yeah.
you have.
Yeah.
And they also, when you are a new mom, there are so many things that are bound to happen, that are on the plate of the mother, her responsibility, that nobody can really do much but hear you and emotionally be there for you. So yes,
Yeah.
husbands are very important, and family is very important. In my case, I did not really have my
Husband's
husband
role
around.
throughout the pregnancy, all the 9 months, laboring everywhere, husband should accompany the wife for
Yeah.
checkups, regular checkups, as well as during the day. He should realize what a woman goes through. Why is it called as labor?
Yeah. Yes,
The name is labor.
Yes.
So there is a lot of labor involved in
Yeah.
labor.
But not all of us are
Fortunate
lucky
enough.
enough, to have their husbands around.
Yeah, that's true.
So I think that's a very that is something we don't really realize, because it is also normalized, right? कि ठीक है, तुझे ही तो करना है, तुझे ही तो देखना है. So
no,
these
that's
things are
not
very
it.
common. I have also heard these things. कि वो
Even in
करेगा भी
baby
क्या?
care, no, like husband should be equally involved, whether it is changing the diapers, it's massaging the baby. See, the mother gets a chance to bond with the baby by breastfeeding.
Yeah.
है ना? But the father can also, because the baby understands touch. The purpose of massage is what? The baby understands your touch. As the baby grows, it becomes a playtime
Yeah,
with the
yeah.
baby. So
Yeah,
it is
yeah.
basically bonding with the baby. So never hire any japa lady for massage or baby care.
Yeah,
Everything you do it, and if once you are massaging the baby, one time your the baby's father can massage the baby.
Right,
So
right.
that should be shared.
Right, right.
That's how the babies bond with their parents. है ना? नानी दादी का नंबर बाद में, पहले इट इज़ योर जॉब. क्योंकि अधिकतर फैमिली से ही देखते हैं कि जापा लेडी रख ली या फिर नानी, क्योंकि इतना छोटा है हम कैसे टैकल करेंगे मसाज.
yeah,
पर
yeah, yeah.
देयर इज नो स्पेशल टेक्निक इन्वॉल्व इन इट, और करने से ही तो आप सीखोगे.
सही बात है.
इट
That
इज़
is
नॉट कि मतलब कोई स्पेशल टेक्निक है मसाज की. इट इज़ जस्ट इट्स सूदिंग फॉर द बेबी. जैसे अपन मसाज करा के वी फील कंफर्टेबल, रिलैक्स्ड.
Yes,
बेबी का भी
yes.
वही पर्पस है, नथिंग
Yeah.
स्पेशल.
I think they sleep also better once you
हाँ,
massage them,
हाँ.
give them a bath, they sleep better.
या
Yeah, yeah.
तो वो जापा लेडी वगैरह नहीं रखना चाहिए. अपने इंडिया में बहुत रखते हैं,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Right.
थिंकिंग दैट इट इज सम रॉकेट साइंस.
Yeah.
मसाजिंग इज सम रॉकेट साइंस व्हिच शी
Yes,
ओनली
yes.
नोस.
Right. So last question, and then we're going to conclude this. Because we both are working women, and you've been doing it for like twice more decades than I have been a mom and been doing it. So what do you think was the most challenging thing of being a working mom? And of course, since you have both the babies, like it was a twin pregnancy.
Yeah, for me it was like raising twins. So definitely women definitely have to step back a little in their profession, I would say. Otherwise they feel all the more guilty of having
Yeah.
neglected their children.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So same thing happened with me. Escaping from, I mean, for work was really difficult. Like हमको छुप के ही निकलना पड़ता था, otherwise they would cry.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
तो वो खराब लगता था.
Yeah.
Somehow time passes.
Yeah.
And if you have a supporting husband, nothing like that.
Yeah, 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 absolutely.
Nothing like that.
Yeah,
So, I was lucky in that way.
Chalo. I hope we all get lucky. All the working moms in the world. All right, great. Thank you so much, Mami. It was
Thank you,
really
Riya.
nice talking to you.
I
And
hope it was useful.
yes,
Some-
yes, absolutely, absolutely. We are definitely going to know soon.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye bye.